Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I'll be making a chicken and leek pie using onions from my allotment which I've had drying out in the shed, some leeks. My leeks at the allotment are not ready yet, so I've bought them from known store. Some wine, sour cream, but you can also use creme fraiche, chicken breast, a carrot, some mustard, some back bacon, flour and bay leaves. But first of all I'm going to make the pastry, which is 500 grams of plain flour, and I'm using 250 grams of salted butter. You can use unsalted and just half a teaspoon of salt, and of course 4 tablespoons of milk to bind it. So I'll just make that now in the processor. I'll weigh out 500 grams now of plain flour. That's 500 grams. I'm putting this in my processor. Now I'm going to add 250 grams of salted butter, and I'm using Welsh salted butter because it's delicious. I'm going to cut this in cubes. This was just easier really. And the noise in the background you hear is my tumble dryer because it's been raining, and they had clothes out dried, is just airing really. I've got no airing cupboard in here, so switch this on and put it on the mix. I mix this now into breadcrumbs. Let's have a look. Alright, that's breadcrumbs. Now we'll add some milk. So it's about 4 tablespoons of milk. And mix this in. Look at this now. This feels fine, to be honest. I'll just empty this out now into my bowl. The pastry's done. I'll just put these, cover this now, and I'll leave it in the fridge until I'm ready. I have done double amount because I want to make a pie with it as well. So I'll just cover this and put it in the fridge. Right, now I'm going to start making the filling for the pie. Just clear things away a second. So I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil in the pan. I won't switch it on just yet because I am now going to be doing the bacon. So the bacon is frozen, but this is okay. I wanted it. Wash my hands again. I find it a lot easier to cut and to dice when it's frozen. Because it's separate, it's quite easy in the pan. It's only part frozen, not all frozen. That does the bacon. I'll turn the pan on. Let that heat up a little now before I add the bacon. Well, whilst that's heating up, I'll now do the chicken. Just going to be diced. I'll put the bacon in first. And I'll carry on dicing the chicken. Just stir these for a minute. Turn that down slightly. And I'll carry on now with the other chicken. I'm now going to add my diced chicken. So stir that now. That was dramatic. Sorry about that. I put my chopping board to wash, which knocked the camera over. So, yeah, right. I don't know what I'm doing now. Oh, right. Whilst the chicken is cooking, I'm going to prepare the onion and the leek. As I said, the onion is from the allotment and it's been hanging up drying in my shed. So just cut these off a sec and get rid of these. Won't be a second. I'll just take the chicken off the heat a minute drain it and put it in another container in a moment, because I'll be using this saucepan now. So I'll just strain this a second. I've strained the chicken and put this aside. Turn that up slightly. I'll just add my onion first before I cut the leeks. So then, now I'm going to cut up my leeks. All the way down the centre. Cut the end. And then about 1/2 inch thick. From all the way down. And I'll do this to them both. So I'll add this. To the pan. I'll do the same now to this one. So So just cook these and soften these up now. The leeks and onions now have softened nicely. So to that I'm going to add some flour. So it's just, sorry, beforehand. A blob of butter. So mix that in. It's about 20 grams of butter. So let that melt in with the leeks. First, before I add the flour. But I want 60 grams of flour. It's plain flour. So 60 grams of plain flour. Butter's almost melted. So I'll add the flour and mix that in. That just sticking it out really nice. Take this off the heat a second. Now I'm going to add some wine. So I'm adding 200 mils of wine, and I want 300 mils now of chicken stock. this in. And cheap wine would be okay for this, but I'm using Pinot Grigio. It's the only one I had. I'm now adding 300 ml of chicken stock. I'm using stock cube, so I'm no need for salt and pepper. I don't think there isn't anyway. I do use my own stock 99% of the time, but I haven't got any left in the freezer. I'm going to turn that back up to simmer. Hey, no more wobbling. So that's simmering. And now I'm going to add some mustard. It says tablespoon of mustard, but I'm putting 2 teaspoons. This English mustard I'm using. Well, that's like that. I'm going to put the oven on up to 180 to warm ready. Make sure that it's all mixed in thoroughly. Now I'm going to add the sour cream. So just 2 tablespoons, but I'm using a dessert spoon. That's heating up there in a minute, and you get it Stilton. I'm going to use about 150 grams of Stilton. I'm just going to break it up in with the leeks and the onions and the sauce. Just crumble it in. I'm actually using Tesco's Finest for this, but it's just as fine, whatever. So let's just give this a stir. Now I'm going to add chicken back. So you want it all back in, and the juice and the bacon. Just let that simmer there a minute, about 5 minutes. Just let that simmer there. Right, and just about now to roll out the pastry. I've had this in the fridge and I've had it resting. So it's just half of this I'm going to be using for the base. I'll put the rest back. Right, and flour at the bottom here. Eye pin. Got my pie dish up ready as well. This pastry makes the Ninja processor makes absolutely wonderful pastry, I must admit. Saves my fingers rubbing. Just make sure now that this is going to be large enough. Yeah. Roll it back. The pie dish there. Of course, roll it over. And just push it down. Keep it overlapping. I'm going to be using a shop bought puff pastry for this. So I'll just put that aside a sec and I'll get my puff pastry. Sorry, I rolled out the pastry and I forgot to press record. And this is shop bought pastry. And it's puff pastry. I just want to test the sides with egg wash. So that the puff pastry will stick to it. And I also want to let air out of it when it's cooking. So here it goes. There's some professional blocking by here, sorry. the pastry on top now. Lift the side overhang so I can fold it in on itself. Which will hopefully seal it and prevent any leakage of the pie. I'm rolling it and turning it in on itself. Just add some layer out. And before I make some holes in it now for the air, I'm just going to brush it with some egg wash. Make sure that every bit of it's covered with the egg wash. Just a couple of holes, and I'm going to put this in the oven at 180°C for around about 45 minutes. With the chicken and leek pie, which I've got in the oven still, I have got potatoes there from the allotment. These potatoes were either caught by something, my fork digging them up, so I've used these now for mashed potatoes. Some French beans and some runner beans, all from the allotment. So I'm going to be making some pesto gravy. I haven't had that for ages, so I'm going to use some of that and make some of that. Here is my chicken, leek and Stilton pie with cream potatoes, French beans, runner beans. And there's my pie. And I've also made pesto gravy. I made it for ages. And there's my glass. I'm going to tuck into this and enjoy. So if you've liked, please press like and subscribe. And if you want to see more, please have a look at my backlog. I've got quite a few there. And any newcomers, oh yes, I've got a couple of newcomers. Thank you for subscribing, and I hope you will continue to look through my videos and subscribe. Pass me on, let people know. I'm only a small channel and I quite like it. So yeah, I'm going to tuck into this now. Lovely. Right, thank you very much again. Until next time. Bye bye.